Good Times with Mo and Mojo.
Wake up! 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 No!
Hi, this is Miguel, reminding you that while Good Times with Mo is a hilarious show, we encourage you all to exercise parental guidance. No, I'm just kidding. But we also encourage the use of your constitutional freedom of speech.
Kitty Go on the show this morning. Kitty, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, yes, you are a ball of perky energy.
Good morning, Miss.
I love it.
Hi.
Kitty, now you're abroad. I won't say what country you're in.
Yeah, because then they might come and shoot me.
Oh, that serious? I mean, come on. These people just party. They don't have a violent bone in their body. Now, Kitty, we're going to take a break because we owe a break. But when we get back, we're going to be talking to you. Again, you also making a lot of headlines recently. I don't really know your story as much as Mojo does here and Bianca, but I am intrigued, and I will hear about it after this break, okay?
Okay.
All right, hold on, dear. There you go, Kitty Go, we're calling her in a unknown country that Mojo apparently knows. He won't share with me.
It's a secret.
Come on.
Reykjavik, Iceland.
Give me at least the country code.
It's in the northern hemisphere. On the phone, we have I don't know if she wants to hear this word, but socialite / sassy woman / author / diva herself.
Enough of the slashes. Get more specific. What does she do?
No, we can ask her exactly what's been happening in her life. But ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Kitty Go.
Kitty. Back on the phone. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, my dear. There you go.
Yeah, hi. I'm not a socialite, okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
see, I knew it. I knew it. But actually, in the blogs or in these news reports, you're referred to as socialite Kitty Go. So
I know.
I included that in the slash.
I never even come out in anything because I'm banned from everything.
Okay, well, you're not banned here. Welcome to the program, Kitty. Now, you are abroad. We won't say again what country you're in. But why are you in the news now these days and associated with what's going on?
I think I'm in the news simply because I was one of the few to post on Brian's blog using my real name. And then I did the ABS interview very openly.
Okay, now
So I think it was a big thing for people.
Right, now what did you do in Philippine society over the years? You were an editor of a very big magazine, yes?
I was an editor and publisher of Preview and Yes and Cosmo.
Okay.
And I also had a column in the Manila Times.
All right.
And then when I moved away, I started writing for the Inquirer.
Okay.
And for the Financial Times in London, who I still write for.
And we said you weren't a socialite. Yes, you are. How dare you? All right.
But the funny thing is, since you worked with the Manila Times, you're a columnist, you're a publisher. How the heck are you banned from these publications?
No, I was banned later on when I moved away because I wrote my 2 books.
And what were your 2 books about, if you don't know?
Well, the 2 books were basically, the first book, When Chic Hits the Fan, was basically about my experience as an editor of Preview.
Okay.
And so there were a lot of what they call blind items about socialites and local movie stars.
Really? Okay.
That are based on real people?
Yes, based on real people, and some are very, very obvious.
Okay, so you didn't exactly say what the names of the people that were doing these. You kind of just described them.
Yes, I described them very, very
obviously.
precisely.
Right.
And you know, if you are a social watcher, you could figure out from the names who these people were.
Okay.
This is like first-hand information from an insider.
Okay, well, so what is your take then on the high society, the socialites? I mean, is it as bad as Brian Gorrell? I don't even know if he even says it is bad, but is it everything he says it is in his blogs?
About the drugs, I don't know because I've never really seen them do drugs. But you know, that's like the getting high society. That's not the high society.
Okay.
But I think high society doesn't really exist in the Philippines simply because we don't have a charity circuit and we don't have as much money as probably the first world countries.
Oh, but we think we do.
Yeah, but we think we do because it's all relative. You know,
right.
We're comparing ourselves with somebody who lives in a squatter area. Of course, we're rich, right?
Right. But not as rich as Paris Hilton.
But
by any means.
Yeah, Paris Hilton is not even considered rich because her trust is only $28 million.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh. I'll never see that amount of money in my life.
Poverty.
You know, yesterday, Kitty, we interviewed Brian, and we talked to him. He says, this is what he says: I respect Kitty. I've read both of her books. She's a trailblazer. There is no question that she deserves much respect. But with Brian here, I'm still referring to you as a socialite here. Brian here has some angst towards certain quote unquote socialites, specifically the Gucci gang here. What is your take on the whole Gucci gang controversy?
I can see what Brian's trying to do. He wants to get his money back, and because he had a hard time, and he's still having a hard time getting his money back. He's going through the friends, so he's trying to pick on the friends so that DJ would give him his money back. And I can understand the anger of Brian.
But do you agree that maybe name dropping certain people aside from DJ is the right thing to do if you're Brian?
You know, if I was him, that's what I would do.
Okay, yeah, considering it's your life savings, considering the situation and being screwed like that.
I would probably do worse.
Really? Have you done worse? Like, what are some of the crazy stuff that you've done that's gotten you in trouble?
Well, no, you know, I get into trouble really because of my writing.
Okay, like, for
I don't
example...
get into trouble because of my behavior.
You're a good girl when it comes to like in person, but in writing, that's when the Chic Hits the Fan.
Okay, so but what kind of hot water have you got yourself into? Again, because I'm just a sponge here. I'm just going to absorb all of the stuff that you're talking about because I've not had haven't had a chance to kind of investigate any of these things. What are some of the what is the wildest thing that's happened to you?
Well, they're not exactly wild. They're just not logical. It just didn't make sense to me. The best one was when I was the publisher of Yes Magazine, and, you know, I can't stand the editor, and I still can't stand her. And
who's the editor?
She kisses up to all the managers.
Okay.
But I was also doing Preview, which was very critical of local movie stars. And at one point, I was banned from using any movie star in the stable of Douglas Quijano, who was a very big, I don't know if he's still big,
yeah,
a
he's
big
pretty
agent.
Okay.
And, you know, I really, really got it from my bosses and from this editor, who I don't know why. She thought that she could boss me around, which she could, you know. Anyway, so I really got into trouble with that. And but what I did, what ended up happening, which worked very well for us in the magazine and for me, is that I found another agent who was willing to lend me all his movie stars. At that time, it was Troy Montano, Pops Fernandez, and some other people I cannot remember. And we did a gatefold cover, and that was the first in the Philippines, and now everybody does it.
Oh, I remember that issue. I remember that one.
So what is your, do you have a personal take on local show business here and how it works? I mean, like, do you have an opinion? Do you dislike it? Do you think it's dirty? I mean, is it corrupt? I mean, what's your take on it?
I personally, I'm not interested in showbiz, foreign
so
or
you
local.
think the fashion world is much dirtier than local
The
show
fashion
business?
world is much more interesting.
How about the lifestyle world?
I hate
Like
the
you know
fashion
these
world.
like print
Fashion
lifestyle
sucks.
columnists. What's your take on that? 'Cause I know you've spoken about that in your books as well. What, like, are they monstrosities? Are these big names that are being born of these newspapers?
Who, the movie stars or the socialites?
Socialite columnists or high society. This quote unquote high society.
Well, you know, I don't mind high society being columnists. You know, they do that abroad also. But what I'm against is irresponsible journalism and abuse of your position.
Okay, is there a lot of that? Here we go. Let me get this question out here, because I think what we're doing is we're asking her what her take is, and that's very, I mean, I hate that question. Let me be specific then. Is journalism, print journalism here, at least the lifestyle part, is it abusive? I mean, is any of it credible, or is it corrupt? Things like that.
From what I know, when I was working at the Inquirer, probably because, of course, I have to say something good about the Inquirer, our editor, Chelo Banal, was very, very strict.
Okay.
No freebie. Well, you can take freebies because, you know, usually the fashion houses, they'd send you a bag, or
Right.
they would take you on a trip. You know, that's part of
but that's
it.
perks, and every business has that if you're
but
good at it.
You don't go to Boracay and go to a hotel and say, give me 3 free rooms.
Or else
not
I'll
do
write
anything
something
about it.
Oh, okay. And there's a lot of that
Which
goes
the
on.
Philippine Star did, which those people, those Gucci gang did, you know, they even included their friends who are not journalists.
So you're saying there was an abuse of power there, then?
There's a total abuse of
Like
power.
a
And
power
I think
tripping.
that Boracay thing was a small thing compared to everything else. You know, like, they would have parties and not pay the bill, you know, and things like that, and say, oh, we're going to write about it. And they never do.
Controversial.
Magic 89.9. The voice of summer.
Thou shall not covet thy neighbor's house or ox or anything that is thy neighbor's.